Hello, my name is Beverly Wise, and today we are going to be talking about Hardanger embroidery. Stitches TV has invited me to speak today. The first things I wanted to talk about with the Hardanger embroidery is that it's made on a even weave fabric or a counted thread fabric. The fabric is 22 threads per inch, but they're woven in such a way that 2 threads count as 1 when you're weaving and working with them. This shows how the first step in the Hardanger embroidery is to make the cluster block, which is actually 5 satin stitches over 4 threads. And then you work that around and you cut out some of the threads, and then the threads are woven, either with just woven bars, or you can put dove's eyes in the middle of them, or without cutting them you can make eyelet stitches. So to make the cluster block, which is the first basic stitch that you need to do, you use a DMC thread number 5 for those, and then you would start at the bottom and work your way up. And so you go across 4 threads with your stitch, and you do 5 satin stitches, and you just work your way up those 2 going across the 4 threads. There are several books and internet resources that you can find that teach you how to do this also, but this is kind of the basics of it. And then for the last one, when you're going to turn your corner, you go into the same hole as the last one, and then turn your work and go on to the next set. And again, you go across 4 threads and work your way up. Once you've gotten your threads, your cluster blocks done, as they're called, then now you can cut these threads where that are next to the holes that you've got the threads bumping up against. So to cut these, you're going to take your scissor and put it into the last hole, and you're going to cut up alongside of there just until you get to the corner. And then you do the same on the other side. And if the ends stick out a little bit, that's not a big deal. And then you just pull these threads out. And when you get these pulled out, and you do it across the other way also, you'll end up with open spots like you do on this one. So then in these open areas then is where you do your work. And these pull out. I'm not making this look very graceful, but get these pulled out. And then you can see the 4 threads here that you would weave do the weaving over to make it look like this. To do the weaving, you're going to use a number 8 DMC thread. And when we do these threads, we use a tapestry needle, a 22 or a 24, so that you're not splitting the threads of the yarn. Another one that you can do is that, as you can see in this cross bookmark, is that there's no cutting on this one. These eyelets are made just pulling the threads from the center out. This is an example of doing it on a colored Hardanger cloth. You can also, the traditional ones are the white on white or cream on cream. And that's your basic cluster block. Just wanted to thank you for joining us today. This is how you do your basic Hardanger cluster block, getting started doing Hardanger on your even weave fabric. Thank you for joining us today. Have a good day.